Hello, on behalf of the Alnwick Committee of the NSPCC, I would like to welcome you to our virtual Bluebell walk. Many of you will have enjoyed the real version, which usually takes place on the third Sunday in May. Realising that we wouldn't be able to hold the event this year, we have decided to do something different. Charities such as the NSPCC need our help badly at the moment, when life is so difficult for children. So we decided to bring the Bluebells to you. We hope that the glorious Bluebells will make up for our somewhat amateur filming, so here goes. Thank you.
Ratcheugh Crag is an outcrop of whinstone, part of the Great Whin Sill in Northumberland, formed along ancient fault lines by the intrusion of igneous dolerite rock. Northern quarrymen used the term sill to describe a horizontal body of rock, whilst whin denoted dark, hard rocks. Castles along the northeast coast all take advantage of high, rocky cliff lines formed by the Great Whin Sill, including Alnwick, though its craggy nature has been pastoralised in the 18th century. There is evidence too that Ratcheugh Crag was occupied as a naturally defensible landscape feature during the Iron Age, with traces of a ditch and rampart still faintly visible on the summit. As part of the landscaping work around Alnwick Castle carried out for the first Duke and Duchess of Northumberland in the mid-18th century by Capability Brown, Thomas Call and others, new drives were created to facilitate carriage rides out into the newly moulded landscapes. The Duke planned a drive around Denwick village and another to Ratcheugh Crag. The Duchess compiled a list of 98 carriage rides that she could make from the castle. In the library at the castle are 5 volumes of miniature sketches of views by various artists compiled in the 1770s. The places depicted in the volumes represent the Duchess's travels, locally and abroad. Here we can see a representation of Ratcheugh Crag as she would have seen it, minus its now familiar folly.
Childline gives children someone to call when they feel sad. By giving money to Childline, you're helping children get the support they need. Just £4 to meet a Childline counsellor can answer one more child when they feel worried or scared. Thank you for watching our Bluebell walk, and thank you for supporting Childline too.
The first Duchess listed her visions for improvements that she wanted making to the landscape scenery to improve the enjoyment of her rides. She specifically mentioned that a ruin ought to be built on Ratcheugh Crag, and that the road to Ratcheugh ought to be carried along the face of the rock. The ruin would be a mysterious eye-catcher, and the proximity to the road of the cliff would furnish some of the Gothic romance and excitement that the Duchess so much enjoyed. Sadly, it appears that the Duchess, who died in 1776, did not live long enough to see the ruin constructed atop Ratcheugh Crag. It was instead one of the monuments, along with Brisley Tower, constructed by the first Duke in memory of his Duchess. There are two plans in the archives by the famous architect Robert Adam, both dated 1784. The first is a very grand vision for a monastic building proposed to stand on a ridge of rocks near Alnwick Castle. The second drawing is more familiar to us, as one of the flanking plainer gateways is part of what we see today. The plan is annotated to say that the right-hand gateway had already been constructed by the Duke. The rest of Adam's grand plan never seems to have taken shape. In an early 19th century sketchbook, we see two views of Ratcheugh Crag with the first Duke's completed monument on top.
Hi, my name's Darren Worth. I'm the Senior Supervisor from Childline in Leeds, and I just wanted to send you this little video to say thank you for being part of the Bluebell Walk and raising money for Childline. At the moment, Childline is needed more than ever. More children and young people are contacting us, and they need the support more than they've ever done before. Every £4 that is raised is another young person that we can reach out and speak to. So again, a very heartfelt and genuine thank you from Childline to you for taking part in this and for raising money for us.
The second Duke had an extension added to the monument in the form of a ruinous tower at the end of a curtain wall section to provide accommodation for a keeper. This can be seen in an oil painting of around 1820 by James Ward of the Cossack horse given to Hugh Percy, 3rd Duke of Northumberland, by the hetman Count Platoff. The newly enlarged Ratcheugh Folly appears prominently in the background, along with a large flag flying from the observatory. In 1850, the archives give a glimpse of the simple furnishing of the observatory when an inventory was filed on the resignation of the keeper, Robert Morrison. It contained only one telescope with stand, a small table, 2 elbow chairs and 6 common chairs, a hemp mat and 4 keys. The observatory, of course, is not an astronomical one, but terrestrial, with spectacular views over the Alnwick district, back towards the castle and out towards the coast, including the scene of the Ratcheugh point-to-point races. During the Second World War, the Royal Observer Corps took a lease of the observatory and constructed a rooftop structure for keeping a watch on the skies, which was still there as late as 1952. It is said that the observers at Ratcheugh spotted Rudolf Hess's Messerschmitt as he flew over in spring 1941 on his solo flight to Scotland to negotiate peace. Today, the observatory is still performing the same role as an eye-catcher in the landscape, visible from Alnwick Castle in the distance on a clear day, and a source of curiosity for passers-by. It is now equally famous for its annual Bluebell charity walk.
To be able to hold our Bluebell walk each year. The woods and the observatory are generally closed to the public, so we're very grateful to Northumberland Estate and the Duke of Northumberland for allowing us access. Big thanks must also go to archivist Hunwick, and finally, huge thank you to you all for watching this film, for continuing to support our Bluebell walk and for your donations. Please keep an eye on our Facebook page, share this film if you've enjoyed it, and we look forward, fingers crossed, to welcoming you back next year for a real Bluebell walk.
Childline gives children someone to call when they feel sad. By giving money to Childline, you're helping children get the support they need. Just £4 to meet a Childline counsellor can answer one more child when they feel worried or scared. Thank you for watching our Bluebell walk, and thank you for supporting Childline too.